Hey everyone, it's SmugStick. Welcome to a new part of What If Goku Landed on Yardrat. Previously, Goku helped the Kaioshin get rid of Majin Buu and Babidi with the help of many friends like Raditz and Nail, even turning Vegeta back to the light side. Using his Yardrat techniques, Goku also freed the Grand Kaioshin and the South Kaioshin from within Buu. Things finally look peaceful, but Soba has a question that will cut Goku to the core. I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. Be sure to leave a like and share with friends who like Dragon Ball, and let's continue with this what if. It has been a year since the defeat of Kid Buu. Goku, Shira, has returned to planet Yardrat. There, he continues to train daily. Raditz continues to work for the Galactic Patrol. He had the privilege of arresting Babidi, and has continued to arrest rebel Frieza soldiers who tried to keep the Empire alive. One thing to note is that Frieza and his army never found out about the Dragon Balls in this timeline, so Sorbet doesn't know about the possibility of reviving him. Even so, Raditz remembered him from when he went to get Goku and made sure to arrest him. Raditz too visits the Kaioshin realm in order to train. He actually likes using the Z-Sword, unlike his younger brother. Above all, however, Raditz now lives with 18. He had taken care of 17 and 18 after the defeat of Babidi. Him and the android woman ultimately fell in love. She reminded him of a proud and powerful Saiyan woman. 17 returned to Earth with 16, where they lived at Capsule Corp and helped rebuild. Their original programming is erased, and they are now freed. Though they revived those killed by the androids and demons, the Dragon Balls are still inactive, and humanity chose to come together in order to rebuild. Meanwhile, the Cybermen have begun evolving on planet Yardrat, slowly showing more and more signs of intelligence. Surely thanks to Yardrat's strong connection to Ki, and Nappa's continued gardening. He has fully embraced this life, and has even started crossbreeding Cybermen, creating new varieties. Inspired by Goku, Nail continues to train, but he has transported all of the mutated Namekians to planet Namek. And Nail and Cargo have begun taming them, with many Namekians now being able to live in harmony with them. Nail also takes care of little Piccolo. He is an angry, dark being, but both him and Goku train the misguided child. Piccolo swears to kill them one day in the name of his father, and Nail actually encourages him to do so, just to get him to become stronger. Clearly, Piccolo is slowly changing though. During this time of peace, Soba approaches Shira about something. Planet Yardrat, his home, was a deeply spiritual place. In a way, Soba now served as Kami of that world. However, he could never be truly God, nor did he want to. Pibara had been it previously, and he could never match up to that. He came to Shira with a proposition. You want me to be God of Yardrat?
Not just a god, Shira, a guardian. You who understands Ki and life more profoundly than anyone else.
He always saw himself as a fighter, a warrior, not a deity. He looked at Soba with a hint of confusion and apprehension in his eyes. But Master, I'm a Saiyan. We're known for our strength and fighting spirit, not for being guardians. The role of God should go to our Yardrian. Soba shook his head, his eyes reflecting a mix of wisdom and pain.
Shira, long ago I was to be Kami, but my desires for power led me down a dark path. I almost destroyed everything I cherished. That true strength lies in protecting and nurturing life, not dominating it.
But I've brought so much turmoil to Yardrat.
And yet, you've also brought hope, strength, and a newfound respect for life. You are more Yardrian, Namekian, human, and Saiyan than anyone else. You are the best of all of us.
Shira could only think of the visions he saw on Namek, the anger he felt when he killed Frieza, and the darkness Babidi tried to control him with. Soba saw the hesitation in Shira.
Take your time, son. This decision is a reflection of your soul, a testament to the journey you've undergone. It's not merely about a role or a title. It's about understanding who you are to your core. Let your heart guide you.
Hopefully, he would have time to gather his thoughts and make a clear decision. And why wouldn't he? Peace has never been clearer in the universe, until one day. Goku sensed a whole planet, thousands, millions of lives being destroyed. Soon after, while Raditz trained at the Kaioshin realm, a bright light shone before him. Raditz was surprised, but the Grand Kai, he happily greeted the duo. Beerus was overjoyed in seeing his old friend, who shared his love for good food. But he had come here with a more serious matter. He had a premonition of the arrival of the Super Saiyan God. Raditz was taken aback. Was there another legend? Beerus spotted the Saiyan. He wasn't the one to defeat Frieza, was he? Raditz smirked, saying no. That was his brother, but if it's a Super Saiyan he wants, he can give him that. Raditz burst into Super Saiyan 2. Beerus yawned. This wasn't it, but it was a cool trick. Raditz didn't appreciate all that, and his hot-headed self swung the sea sword against Beerus, with the god's eyes widening as he dodged the strikes.
Hey, careful with that. You don't know what you have.
Beerus blocked one final move with his nail. The sea sword snapped in two, with Beerus screaming at Raditz while holding onto Whis. But Beerus didn't die. From behind, the old Kai coughed, happy to finally be out of the sword. All of the other Kais had their mouths open. Beerus face-palmed. So, Shin was the new Kai, huh? After explaining that it was Beerus that locked away the old Kai, he turned back to face Raditz.
You have spirit, I like that, but you're no god. You did mention your brother, however. Where can I find the one who defeated Frieza?
Why should I tell you? Beerus pointed his hand out at Raditz, keyball in hand. He's in Yardrat, Lord Beerus.
Yardrat, interesting. I wonder if old Soba is still wreaking havoc there.
But please, don't destroy that world. It has been a valuable resource to the universe.
I am a destroyer, Kaioshin. I will do my job.
In a flash, Whis and Beerus disappeared. Raditz was freaking out, and though all the Kais told him to wait, he teleported to Yardrat, attempting to warn Goku. Whis' movement is slower than the instant transmission, as he gets there first. There, he quickly finds Goku meditating at the Yardrat spikes, while Vegeta trained against Soba. But before he could speak, Goku shushed him. He was in complete silence, total focus. His aura was incredible. Raditz couldn't believe it. 18 ran out, asking if his training was going well, but it was clear Raditz was very worried about something. She punched him in the chest, trying to cheer him up. Fighting together always did that, but this time, it seemed more serious. Goku finally exhaled and looked at Raditz. He wasted no time in explaining who was coming. Soba's ears perked up. Beerus, they needed to prepare. Goku wondered what he needed to do, but Soba told him to just train by himself. Everyone else will prepare a feast. An hour later, Beerus and Whis finally arrived, welcomed by a huge feast. Soba approached Beerus as if old friends, but it seemed like neither really liked each other very much. Raditz was confused. Beerus reveals that Soba and himself once battled. In fact, Soba was candidate to be the god of destruction before things went south, and he stopped training. Soba didn't like talking about it, especially since Beerus was now stronger than him by a lot. Goku finally arrived, with Soba introducing him to Beerus. Goku tried to be polite. Their handshake sent electric currents between the two. He wanted to see this Saiyan God. Goku is confused. He hasn't heard of anything like that. Perhaps Vegeta knows. Beerus is surprised to hear Vegeta's name. The king was still alive? Vegeta steps up, kneeling in front of Beerus, nervous about what his appearance could mean. The god of destruction was delighted to see the prince. Perhaps he was the god. When he realized that none of them know anything about the Super Saiyan God, Soba intervenes. He tells them all that the feast was ready to start, leading them towards the food, but not before whispering to Goku that he needs to find out more about this. Goku is disappointed since he wanted to eat, but he teleports to Planet Namek. It was the first place he thought to ask. But once there, neither Murray nor Nail knew anything. Murray did warn him not to play around with the destroyer, however. Meanwhile, Beerus and Soba discussed the legend of the Saiyan God. It was eerie that now that Shira and Soba had discussed Goku becoming Kami, that Beerus would show up looking for a Saiyan God. Could Goku have been that professed man? The one his master talked about all those years ago? In fact, Soba's master had been visited by a spirit in his dreams, not dissimilar to that of Beerus, but this spirit told of a legend, as he proclaimed himself to be the spirit of a Saiyan long ago. Soba could only remember the name of Yamoshi. Goku teleported again, but it seemed like every planet he visited had nothing. Then he remembered one last planet, Planet Cereal. It had been many years since he went there and met his old friend Granola, but he remembered him mentioning the Saiyans. As Goku teleported to Cereal, Vegeta and Soba were doing their best to keep Beerus calm. He was never a huge fan of the food on Yardrat, but he was very hungry.
But Soba was always too attached to the silly ideas of Yardrat to take advantage of the god of destruction power. Even his master thought he was wasting this opportunity. We don't need to speak on this.
Wait, seriously?
How is he anyways? He was god of this world, wasn't he? Or did I hear that you two had a falling out? Enough!
There was a clear tension between Soba and Beerus. Goku arrived at Cereal, locking onto the key of Granola. The Cerealian was in the middle of eating his meal with Monaito when Goku showed up. Goku was happy to see them both, but Granola's face looked furious. Hey, you guys! It's been a long time. You haven't heard anything about the Saiyans, have you? Without warning, Granola bursts forward against Goku, slamming his fist across his face. But Goku didn't flinch. He just slowly turned his head back with a smirk. You could have just said no. Saiyan, you've come back here to mock us, to finish the job? The scuffle continued as Granola blasted at Goku and out of the house. Monaito tried to stop him, but Granola continued to try and battle Goku. But he didn't have time for this. Before Granola could approach him again, Goku shot out a pair of rings that restricted Granola. Monaito ran out and began to explain things. I don't know what your deal is. We were friends long ago. That was before I knew you were a Saiyan. Granola, there is something I need to explain. Monaito went on to explain that Granola was actually saved by a Saiyan from the heaters many years ago. A Saiyan that looked just like this boy. To Granola, this revelation was completely earth-shattering, and he didn't want to believe it until Monaito allowed him to listen to the scouter left behind by a low-class Saiyan, Bardock, who Monaito believed to be the father of this man. The name sounded familiar to Goku, and it made his heart sink. He felt a connection to it, but when Monaito handed over the scouter to allow him to listen to it, Goku hesitated and actually pushed it away. This is a lot, but I already have a father. His name was Pibara. Sorry, but I don't need to listen. At least not now. Thank you. He asked if he knew anything about the Super Saiyan God, which Monaito denied. Goku was disappointed and out of options, but Granola looked at the Saiyan. His father had saved his life, huh? Goku was about to teleport away when Granola stopped him. Wait. I think we can find something out. Then we will be even. My debt to your father, or to the Saiyans, will be paid. Let's get him the Dragon Balls. Following his first encounter against the Saiyan, Granola spent many years trying to find the second Dragon Ball, which had been lost for decades. He planned on using it in case he encountered the Saiyan again. Goku couldn't believe it. Another set of Dragon Balls on planet Cereal? Goku asked the dragon what he knew about the Saiyan God. Torombo explained the legend of the god. Sadly, Goku realized that he didn't have enough Saiyans for the ritual. Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz were around, and he could easily find Tarble, but they needed one last Saiyan. Granola and Monaito realized how upset Goku looked. His planet must be in real trouble, but Goku buckled up, as he was going to try something extremely difficult. He thanked them all for his help and rose up to the sky. They were wondering what was going on, but his aura sparkled up. Thunder began to strike. He transformed into a Super Saiyan. Goku's idea was simple. If he can grow stronger, then surely his ability to teleport should be better than before too, right? If he survived the explosion of planet Vegeta, then what about other Saiyans? He couldn't sense anything besides the people he already knew at first. It was a vast universe. He realized that even though he didn't know every Saiyan ki out there, he did know what the ki of an Ozaru felt like. He searched and searched as planet Cereal began to have extremely heavy rains, and his power was even felt on planet Namek. The Saiyan disappeared from sight, then reappeared on a new desolate planet. He was met by the blinding aura of a man in green. He had a pile of defeated monsters behind him, the result of him gathering food. Goku approached him slowly, waving his hand, but the man was startled. Was he trying to steal his food? In a flash, the Saiyan struck Goku into the side of a mountain. The speed was such that he didn't have time to react. This power was incredible, forcing Goku into Super Saiyan right away, while this man remained in base. There was no doubt about it. It felt like this man contained the power of the Ozaru deep within his soul. But while Goku tried to defend himself, he realized that he didn't seem fully in control. Inside a cave, another man walked out as he heard the commotion, screaming out Broly's name and taking out a small remote. But he was flabbergasted to see not only Broly slowly increasing in power, but another Saiyan. Paragus was about to press the button, but he was once again surprised to see as the other Saiyan stopped Broly with some kind of key ring and just began to speak. Hey, it's alright. I'm not your enemy. I want to help you, but I need your help too. Paragus had never been able to stop Broly in any way other than by shocking him before. His deep connection to nature and ki allowed Goku to calm Broly's aura. By the time he was done, Goku and Broly had introduced themselves. Paragus ran to his son. Goku explained everything. He can help them get a new home if they like, but his planet is in trouble. He needs their help. But while Goku continued to explain, he happened to mention other surviving Saiyans, including Vegeta. The fury inside Paragus's eyes was apparent. Paragus explained that he was banished by the king who feared Broly's power, but Goku placed a hand on his shoulder. Now is his chance to escape. Is he really going to refuse? Paragus just couldn't do it. Goku sighed. Even so, he couldn't leave them here. That's when Broly interrupted. Father, I want to help this man. He's offering us a new home and food. It's the least we can do. Paragus had never seen his son like this. It was a sign of weakness for the Saiyans, but his son was so different as it was. And the way Goku had calmed him down was impressive, perhaps, but he promised that he would take it upon himself to kill the prince one day. Goku was excited and promised that everyone back home was just great. Just one stop along the way. He grabbed onto them both and teleported to planet Tech Deck. There, Goku quickly finds Tarble. The planet had been developing and changing ever since Goku got rid of Frieza there. Abo and Kado had even turned into farmers. Paragus' head was spinning with anger at the sight of Tarble. He knew the king had a second son. Paragus debated the situation, but the look in his eyes worried Goku. As he realized why he was looking at Tarble like that, Goku explained it to the young prince. Tarble was surprised, but took the chance to tell Paragus that he too was cast away and sent to a far-off planet. King Vegeta had no mercy, not even for his own family. He can help them establish themselves in the universe after all of this. Paragus didn't expect the prince to be so humble. His thirst for revenge lessened. Tarble decided to join, though he knew Beerus was a true monster. The side of planet Yardrat was one of despair when they returned. They were all spread around the battlefield. Beerus was holding Soba by the throat, threatening him. The two had continued to generate tension, and when Beerus kept on bringing up Soba's master's death, it sparked something within the Yardrat, who slammed his fist on the table, spilling Beerus' food. In an instant, Goku cursed and burst into Super Saiyan 2, trying to save his master. Yaki tried to tell him to stop, but Beerus simply avoided him. What Beerus didn't expect was for Broly to also come in and to actually land a hit on the god of destruction. Beerus was completely surprised. Soba fell to his knees, explaining to Goku what happened. Beerus had now promised to destroy Yardrat unless he found this Saiyan God. Beerus was surprised by the new Saiyan. There was an incredible power within him, but this was no Saiyan God. He lacked the intense heat his dream showed. Paragus yelled at Broly to back down, but Goku ran to Paragus and told him that there was no time. This is their chance for the ritual. He explained to them just what it was. Raditz and Tarble were ready to help Kakarot, but Nappa thought this was ridiculous. That's when an intense argument between Paragus and Vegeta instantly broke out. Enough, listen to me. Planet Yardrat has offered each of you a home, but please, this time, help me defend it. All I want is to save my planet. Paragus watched as a giant key ball appeared above Beerus. If Broly and Beerus' battle would continue, things would only get worse. Soba pushed him out of the way, yelling at him to help Kakarot instead. Vegeta, Tarble, Raditz, Broly, Nappa, and Goku joined their hands together. The aura of the Saiyan God sparkled into him. Goku and Beerus were now face to face. Now this was the Super Saiyan God of legend. It was so different for Goku. This key felt strange. He thought he knew everything about energy and spirit, but now there seems like a whole new world. Even so, his knowledge of ki gave him a slight advantage. Beerus smirked. It was time to begin. The battle between Beerus and Super Saiyan God Goku is a spectacle of cosmic proportions. He showcases many unique Yardrat techniques, beginning with instant transmission, appearing and disappearing so quickly that it seems like he's in multiple places at once. Beerus swings after one of the after images, only to find Goku attacking from a different angle. He then multiplies himself, creating several clones that launch a coordinated assault. Beerus, slightly caught off guard, destroys the clones with a sweep of ki, but Goku uses the moment to land a solid punch. Then he begins to use Force Spirit Fission, dismantling Beerus' energy, but he realizes there's just way too much of it. Vegeta and Raditz wanted more power for themselves, while Broly admires the peaceful and still heart of the Saiyan God. He wished he could do that too. Goku's energy starts to fluctuate. The Super Saiyan God form drains him more than he anticipated. He needs to end the fight quickly, but just as he launches the attack, the red aura flickers and fades. Goku's godly form vanished, leaving him in Super Saiyan, but the determination in his eyes doesn't wane. As Beerus advances, Goku braces himself, leading Beerus through the strange alien constructs of Yardrat. Beerus begins to grow impatient, launching several ki blasts. Goku dodges and weaves, his body moving on instinct. The impact of their fists and shockwaves across the planet. Beerus comments on the heart Goku has, but that he senses a deep darkness within too. Goku just can't keep up in this state. As the struggle rises, the voices of his friends and mentors echo in his mind. Finally, the hopes of Earth, Namek, Yardrat, and Soon fill him with a renewed sense of purpose. As Beerus approaches to deliver one final blow, Goku's eyes snap open, the voices of his friends, Yaki and Hatsuka, pushing him beyond his limits. With a defiant roar, Goku's energy surges into the divine flame of the Super Saiyan God. Beerus stops, surprised by this. Beerus launches one final ki ball full of destructive energy. The Saiyan takes a deep breath, putting his fists out over each other as his aura begins to change into various colors. To the naked eye, they seem like nothing, but to the Yardrans, they could see their valleys, rivers, cities, cities and more, and not just theirs, but from every planet, creating a double helix. The essence of life, Goku was using pure Genki, the dreams of those who have fallen, the hopes of those who will follow. Suddenly, Goku opened his eyes, rushing forward with the double helix surrounding him. He bursts through the key ball and into Beerus. The helix envelops itself around the key ball and even the god. Beerus smirks proudly, almost as if neutralizing the destructive power with the power of life. The key ball dispersed out into the universe. But Beerus wasn't just going to let him win. Beerus dissolves the helix as Goku falls out of power, and the god of destruction catches him. As Goku's eyes recover, he looks up to see Beerus and Soba arguing, while 18 and Raditz took care of him. Broly was trying to get them to calm down, but Beerus smirked once he saw Goku awake. He had been a legendary adversary, and he wants to welcome him to train one day. But he believes that Shira has a choice to make. Lord Beerus, Master Soba, I accept. I will become Kami of Yardrat. I want to protect this world for as long as I live. Beerus and Soba smiled.
Well, well, a literal Saiyan God. You are a curious one.
Vegeta scoffed, while the other Saiyans celebrated. Whis intervenes, saying that though his job as guardian will be difficult, he hoped that he would still come to train at Beerus' planet. In fact, Broly and Vegeta both showed incredible promise and were welcome to join too. Raditz had already chosen to take a different path and to train with the old Kai he released. He owed him a favor. Goku chuckled. He was nervous but excited. What would this mean? It didn't really matter, because he knew he could handle it. He could protect them all. But that night was the last night Shira had a good night's rest for a long time, as from then on, nightmares of the Ozaru, the Saiyans, and Frieza filled his dreams, always culminating in the reflection of his face against the waters of planet Yardrat, always ending with an unrelenting urge for battle, always ending with a sinister smile. In the deepest recesses of his heart, Shira could feel a storm brewing. The darkness was coming to swallow the light in a never-ending black abyss. And that was it for today's scenario. I hope you guys are enjoying What If Goku Landed on Yardrat. The next part is likely going to be the last, and I am glad this series is coming to an end, as much as I love it. I'm hoping to have it up next week if everything goes on as normal. As always, a huge thank you to the patrons of the channel, who get to watch videos like this early. And if you're looking for more Dragon Ball content, be sure to check out my full stories of What If Piccolo got orange early, and What If Goku trained Caulifla.